excited with some of the things I've done recently. I've started working on multiplayer, and so now all of your moves are now broadcast on my local network. So if you had your StarWizards open at the same time on my same network, you would actually see my ship appear, and every particle that is generated in the game is pushed into a network broadcast, and it's actually not even played locally until after it comes back. So say, hey, I want to produce these particles, and then it waits to hear the network to say they've been produced before it shows them. So that should make the game run a little more synchronously across multiple computers. I have fixed the most awesome bug, or the worst bug that I was having. The game was having some freezing issues. I'm sure you saw it in previous posts. There were little jittery jags when things were moving place to place. But you'll see that it is now perfectly smooth. I may have said I fixed that before, but if I did, I was wrong. I had not fixed it. But now I identified the actual root cause and was able to fix some of my OpenGL code up. And I upgraded my OpenGL code from, I think it might have been GL 1.0, I'm not sure. I was just using opentk.opengl or whatever the big default library was. And so now I'm specifically using OpenGL 4. And so that was good because I had to figure out how to send the coordinates better. Because the old way for the first tutorial that I read didn't work in OpenGL 4, and so I read a new tutorial and figured out how to do the coordinates the right way. So that was pretty exciting. And so now I'm using OpenGL 4. Got rid of the jitter, which wasn't related to OpenGL 4. I was hoping OpenGL 4 was going to fix that jitter, but it turned out, oddly enough, that I had to add one more little thing called gl.finish. And by making that command, I think I must be waiting for the memory copy to finish. It was the image from, because I use GDI to generate the image, so I draw a bitmap and I hand it over to OpenGL, and OpenGL is the one that displays that on the screen. And apparently I was giving it the next frame too soon before it finished processing the last frame, and so it was throwing up on me, and that was what was causing the jitter. So by putting a gl.finish command in, it lets the render finish before it goes on to the next frame, and now there's no jitter. So I'm really excited about that. Like I said, multiplayer is partially implemented. I fixed the inventory menu so it appears on both this screen and the other screen. Game menu, I think I need to change there. Right now I'm playing a game, and you can see how all the production works. I can take the fuel, I can upgrade it to the next level, which costs a bunch of fuel. I have 100,000 fighters, so in this particular game I've gotten into the core a little bit. I'm taking on level 10 planets. I'm not quite ready for level 16 planets quite yet. I've been working with about 120 fighters. It's good. The way my battle engine works is you get an advantage if you have more ships. So there's essentially every time you hit invade, there's a round of battle, and I think every 2 ships of yours destroys one of theirs, and every 2 ships of theirs destroys one of yours. And so you have an advantage. You have a numerical advantage if you overwhelm them. So by having 126,000 and having 100,000, I'll get the better of the battle. Although he's going to destroy one of my ships still. So there's a round. Now I'm down to 75, and he's down at 37. There. I'm actually going to. I don't know. I haven't quite decided how the battle is going to work. I really want an actual battle screen where you actually kind of like a StarCraft type battle. It won't exactly be StarCraft because I don't want it to be that involved. Like I don't want you to have to deal with individual movement unless you want to. But it's not exactly cinematic either. It's going to be kind of a marriage of the two, where you'll kind of pick a battle plan. You'll give orders to your troops. You get to keep the heavy ships back, or the small ships and the small ships forward. But I don't want it to be where you're clicking on each individual ship and giving them orders. The AI will do most of the fighting for you, but you as a human will be able to watch the battle and tell the AI to do things differently. And that's how I'm kind of hoping the battle engine is going to work. But until then, it's just a calculated battle. And then the other thing is, I probably need to create individual menus for give and take here, so that you can give more, and that way you can actually defend your positions. Because once we have multiple players, they're going to start taking over your planets. You're going to need to actually leave these planets protected. Right now, I'm leaving them all unprotected with 0 fighters. I'm not building any missile bases. So yeah, that's where everything's at now. I don't know if there's anything else. The frame rate is now variable, and that kind of just depends on the performance of your hardware, how fast. It's not targeting 60 frames per second per se, although the game time is targeting about a little over 60 frames per second. I think it was 61 there. Every time a new game time is clicked, it triggers a rendering of an image, which is then pushed into the system to be pushed into GL. And so if you have a faster hardware, you can see your frame rate actually go up if we increase the game time. As before, everything was just targeting 60 frames per second, so even if you had a beefier computer, it still would have done 60 frames per second. So, I'm really excited. I was kind of depressed last couple of weeks because I was having those problems with the jitter, but I got to the bottom of it, and on top of all that, I learned how to blend 2 images together in OpenGL. So I'm not quite sure how to use that to my advantage yet. I'm probably going to take the background image and load it in, because I know that's the slowest of all these steps, is running that background layer. You can see it taking 4 milliseconds, and my computer's pretty beefy. I was testing this on one of my kids' computers, and it was taking like 20 milliseconds to render that background layer. So I'm probably going to figure out how to render the background layer directly into GL and then blend the game image on top of the background image, so that we can take care of that bottleneck right there and keep the game time up on everyone's computer. All right, thanks.